Hello and welcome. I'm Courtney Cassidy with Groove. Today I'm going to guide you into a wave style of breath. So let's go ahead and get comfortable. Making your way into a comfortable seated or lying down position. Give yourself a moment to settle in and make any adjustments that you might need to make in order to let the nervous system fully relax. Now let's go ahead and take 8 to 10 really big breaths. In and out. And let's just pretend for the next few breaths that these are the biggest breaths that you've taken in a whole week. And as you begin to connect your mind to body, feel the breath come into the body and feel it leave the body. Feel the rise of the body on our next inhale, and feel the grounding sensation on our next exhale. Inhaling light, airy, free. Exhaling, sinking, grounded, and safe. Let's just begin to draw the breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, and out through the mouth. And on the next inhale, through the nose, take that breath up into the brain. Exhale it back out again. Inhale through the nose, up into the brain. Imagine it swirling around the brain before we exhale back out again. On our next inhale, breathe in through the nose, up into the brain. Let it swirl and dance and twirl around the brain. And then exhale back out again. And every time you inhale through the nose and up into the brain, imagine that breath as a color or an image. And just notice with every inhalation and with every exhalation that we feel more comfortable, more relaxed, and more at ease. And as we breathe that breath in through the nose, notice how we begin to experience less thoughts, bigger spaces in between each thoughts. And the bigger the spaces, and the more often we create them, the less our mind and body will react or respond in the mind and in the body, giving mind, body, and soul a chance to rest. Feel yourself resting now. next inhale, take a sip of breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. And on this next inhale through the nose, pretend like you're sipping the breath from the tips of the toes. Exhale, feel the breath travel back down the body and out the tips of the toes. Sip of breath from the toes, in through the nose. Exhale, feel that breath travel back down the body. Inhale, sip of breath from the tips of the toes. Feel the breath travel up the body. Exhale out the mouth and feel the breath travel back down the body. Inhale, sip of breath from the tips of the toes. Exhale out. Just take a moment and listen to the sound of this wave breath. And just notice if you can hear the ocean in your breath. On our next sip of breath from the tips of the toes, let's take that breath all the way up to the brain. Exhale back down the body and out the tips of the toes. Inhale from the tips of the toes all the way up to the brain. Exhale back down the body, out the toes. Keep going. And then begin to add a color or an image to the breath. Maybe we're picturing a wave coming up to the brain and back down the body, out the toes. You might even just become so aware that you can actually feel the 65 to 70% water that makes up our body responding to wave style breath. Continuing to breathe up from the tips of the toes and back down again, imagining a wave gently rolling up onto a shoreline on the inhale. And on the exhale, picture that wave traveling back out into the ocean. Inhale, wave comes up onto a beautiful sandy shore. Exhale, feel that breath travel back out into the ocean. Imagining that breath coming up onto the beautiful shoreline. And exhale, watching the wave travel back out into the ocean. And just continuing to breathe as you follow this wave style of breath. Continuing to breathe. Soften the forehead. Soften right eyebrow and left eyebrow. Soften right eye and left eye. Separate the teeth in the back of the mouth and release. Jaw, cheeks, ears, temples. Soften the hair on the head and on the face. Soften the little space in between the eyebrows. Let right eye sink back into right eye socket, and let left eye sink back into left eye socket. Soften the back of the scalp, the top of the scalp, the sides of the scalp, and re-soften the face. Separate the skull away from the scalp and soften the brain away from the skull. And now soften the brain a little more. Continuing to breathe. Wave breath. Imagine that wave coming up onto a sandy shoreline, and then with ease traveling back out into the ocean. Feeling that gentle sway, that calming rolling back and forth, giving us this feeling of serenity and peace. As we continue to breathe, imagine what color the ocean or lake water is here. Is it turquoise or blue, or is it a little bit green? And then what color is the sand that this water, this wave is gently flowing up onto and back out again? Is it that white powdery sand? Or is it a more brown, coarse sand? Pretend like you could feel this sand that you chose in between your toes. Imagine yourself sitting or standing on this shoreline, watching the wave come up towards you and back out again. And as you look to the horizon, just notice what you see. Does the water reach all the way to the horizon? Or is there something along the sides of the water or along the horizon? Just filling in pictures. Maybe you've seen them before. Maybe this creation is new for you today. Either way is absolutely perfect. Just know you're doing it right. Filling in the sky. What time of day is it? Is the sun high in the sky, or is it setting? Maybe we'd like to picture it being night, with a glorious moon above our head and speckled stars in the night sky. Either way, just filling in the sky that is speaking to you right now. Taking a look around the shoreline where you're sitting. Are there any trees there? Any bushes? Is there grass? What does it look like around you? Are you in a quiet spot? Is anyone there with you? Maybe they're sitting beside you. If there were sounds, what would the sounds be? Listening to the wave traveling gently up and down the shoreline. But just filling in any other sounds that might be there. Maybe birds or boats. A gentle breeze. If we could taste the air around us, if we could draw the sense of taste into this imagery, what would it taste like? Just feel the air around you in this place that you imagine. Is it warm? Is it a cool evening? Or is the sun high in the sky, somewhere tropical where we're feeling hot and maybe a little sweaty? Maybe we can almost feel the salt on our skin. Feel the sand between our toes. We might even pretend to pick up the sand in our fingertips and feel it as it filters through slowly. Let's take a picture of this moment in our mind's eye, like we're using an old school camera, pointing it and click. File this photograph into the front part of your brain. And know that every time that we need to, we can take out this photograph. We can remember the image, and it will bring back all of the senses that are associated with this picture for us again. Knowing this place of calm, of peace, of deep breathing is available to you at all times. This useful tool for guided visualization, for rest, and for creativity is available to you at all times. Continuing to feel that wave style breath. And whether you're falling into a deep night's slumber or just taking a break in your day, I wish you love, peace, and gratitude in your day or night ahead. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.